Hi, welcome back to Team Woolly Sheep Reviews. Right, here we're not having good weather here in Wales. Unfortunately, the weather has been pretty dismal. Storms, winds, rains. Typical Christmas. So, Merry Christmas to you all and a Happy New Year. I've tried to make this video several times and it got all too complex. As you can see, I just carried in my backpack. It's the Race Quad backpack. And it's what I've been using for over a year now. I had it for last Christmas actually, and I wanted to catch up. I've had a bit of a break, and as you know, with all the COVID and everything else, and it's been really busy with work, but I'll come back to that later. A few of you have asked me for updates. There's been a lot of talk on the X20S. Now I've had it almost quite a few months now, and a little bit of feedback on my findings and how I've been getting on with it. First of all, I love the radio, really happy with it. I know there's been lots of questions about Crossfire. One of the issues is it's the micro module, not the full format module, but that's what keeps it slim. Why, I don't know, but that's the module you've got. It tends to be a sort of, I think it's a nicer fit, but I'm not going to get into that argument. However, the software is not ready for it. There's lots of people being a bit disgruntled about the fact that it doesn't currently support Crossfire, but come on, they've developed this. It's a FrSky product. Their version is the 900 meg. This comes built into it. You've got 900 and 2.4, so you've got the best of both worlds, but it's not Crossfire ready. It will be, but at the moment they're ironing out all the bugs and glitches to get this to be the best radio for FrSky, FrSky. I'll put some links below to GitHub and RC groups so you can keep an eye on its progress. I'll also put a link to one of my fellow YouTubers, RTRC. He's done a 3D printed conversion to be able to put the module on the back. He's done a nice job of it, so I'll link you for that to go and have a look at that and how he did it. But you can use it. Obviously you can't do the programming through the software yet, so until it's serial ready, the PPM option is there. You can link the telemetry to your phone. Those of you who use Crossfire will understand, you know, there is other ways around it. The Ethos software environment is absolutely incredible. Now, I've been part of the GitHub group providing feedback and faults. What they've done is opened it up effectively to allow purchasers and early adopters of the radio to provide feedback to them so they can modify and improve. So we're almost like a beta tester, but then they do the final releases and put them onto the FrSky or FrSky webpage, so you can download the approved firmware updates. Always stay cutting edge, not bleeding edge. Having the latest firmware, the beta firmware, comes with unknown issues, so don't be too keen to get the latest out there, because sometimes they're waiting for feedback. This is a brand new radio, brand new firmware, software, and they're looking for feedback. I've actually submitted some feedback. I wasn't happy where the model selection was, and asked it could it be under the model menu, because it was under the system menu. So they took that feedback and they amended it. So the next revision of firmware came out, had that amendment in. So those are the sort of things they're doing, and thumbs up guys for doing it. Really old receivers, the D8s and the like, you're gonna have to buy a module to go on the back. You can buy the module, same, put it in, you get D8. So it's not the end of the world, but get yourself one or two receivers. This is the RX6R receiver, which I've been using in some of the planes and wings. As you can see, it's quite small, 6-channel receiver. So all I've done is updated one of these, and then I just simply change it. So like I said, I've done a video on how to do it. And then once you've done it and you've registered it to the radio, by registering them, it's like pairing your phone to a computer, for example. So once they're paired, you can then bind them to any model. And when I say bind them, there's none of this pressing and holding the buttons once they're registered. So it's better to do it on the bench, get them all set up. I'll give you a run through on how to flash one of these. It is pretty straightforward. They come with all the wires and things for you to do it. Just make sure you're using the right lead for the right receiver, because sometimes the wires are crossed around. So it's the way it's gone. You need to update. So to flash one of these, so simple. Like I said, you've got the sockets on the back there, so you can plug in there. You can use the S port socket. Once you've flashed it, install it, and then flash that new one, stick it in the box, ready to do your next model. It's nice to set them up fresh. Like I said, I've still got my other transmitter, but I tend to sort of, every time I fly a model, I set it up on this. When you set up one model, clone it, and you're good to go for the next one. If you've got a radio with lots of models, then you know you can clone your setup and create a new model from that clone. Are you panicking yet? Are you panicking? It's not as bad as it sounds. I'll do a series of videos because it's pointless trying to cram it all in, because it's just going to blow your mind. So this is just an overview of where we are and what's coming. Step 1, download all the firmware files that you need. Step 2 is to update a spare receiver. Step 3 is then to register this receiver. Step 4 is to create the model on the radio. You can clone it or create it from fresh. Have a go, create it from fresh. The only thing I benefit from creating a cloning it is all the switch, you know, the voice commands and things like that. You know, to be honest, it doesn't take long to do it on this radio, but it is handy when you can bring it all over and everything is the same. So if you've set up one wing, then you basically use the same settings for all wings, just make a few adjustments on the rates. Step 5, bind the model and test it and set it all up. 5 steps. So, right, so that was a little catch up on where we've been. I've been having a bit of a break, not a breakdown, just a break off YouTube. It's just been crazy with everything going on with COVID. Work has been absolutely crazy. So I just needed some time off. The weather has been awful. I haven't spent much time in the shed. So my hobby is sort of taking a sort of backseat for the moment. I don't know whether many of you are aware, but I work in the energy industry, and we're trying to do a lot of work to address the climate emergency. We know about COP26, and the energy sector has been just absolutely mental at the moment. So I've been kind of sort of concentrated on that. I'll put a link below to a video I've done recently on the Taffswell thermal spring. There's one thermal spring in Wales, and it currently discharges into the River Taff. That heat from that thermal spring is going to be captured, put through a heat exchanger, and via heat pumps will heat the heating systems for the primary school, the local primary school, and a local park pavilion. So we've got a heat network going on, and that's the sort of things I've been working on, some projects. Obviously there's lots of things going on with energy conservation, but that's what I do in my real job. Kind of focusing my time on there, unfortunately. But the weather has been pretty dismal in Wales, and I haven't had much flying opportunities, so my hobby's taking a bit of a backseat. And all I'm doing is getting older and getting fatter. So I have bought myself a bike. So what I plan to do in the summer is to do a ride and fly videos where I'm gonna set up a GoPro and drive you nuts. Then it's an environmental thing. Not taking my car, I'm gonna actually ride my bike to flying sites and fly from there. Now I'm gonna have to be quite inventive. How am I going to transport planes, wings, quads, etc. on a bike? It's nice to be back, so stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching Team Woolly Sheep Reviews. Catch you soon. Take care. Bye.